The move's too late, and he drives across the 6's nose. Chase takes a huge hit, and it's Tyler Reddick winning the Great American Race. Jamie and I are here in the lab. We're going to break it down. Final restart, 4 to go, Jamie. Reddick is actually in control. With all of this, he was on the front row coming to the start.
Yeah, and people ask all the time, like, what's it take to win? Well, it takes a little bit of luck and a lot of chaos, as you're going to see right here. Reddick was in control, but if you look on the outside, McDowell actually gets a little better restart. Byron, though, with a huge push. As they go around turns 1 and 2, though, I want you to watch. Look at the bottom. Is really connected right here. But the cars, the side draft, how fast they are able to make up ground. Look at the run they're going to get down the backstretch. And this is a key part of the race right here because Reddick has control. He's committed to Byron, who's pushed him out to the front. But watch what happens right here when Hocevar gets a hold of the back of McDowell. McDowell is able to split Reddick, and all of a sudden Reddick's going to lose control of the race as he gets split 3 wide.
Yeah, and right here, I'm thinking to myself, is William Byron going to do it again? Right, he's won 100%. The last 2.
And he's wrecked multiple times throughout the day.
I was
totally
shocked. But then here he is, right? 3 wide for the... And I actually think at this point McDowell's doomed because he's by himself on the outside, but the runs are just so quick. I thought Hocevar does a nice job of somehow getting to the top lane.
Yeah, and I'm nervous for McDowell if I'm a driver because I'm like, what if he runs out of gas and I'm right behind him?
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of in the back of my mind the whole time, but I would say Hocevar, great teammate right here, stayed committed to Michael. And Hocevar throughout the whole weekend was a really good pusher, was able to get connected. Look at the run that they get down the front stretch coming to 3 to go.
23-11 is now lined up with the 45 and the 23 of Bubba Wallace. It's crazy. You and I were breaking this down as we see the Spire cars out front of where everybody else is. Look at the outside lane. Logano's in the mix, the 43, the 47. Basically out of screen is the 9. Joey Logano takes the run. I think that's what jumped out at me too. Everybody takes every run.
Yeah, especially at this point in the race, you don't really care. I feel like the manufacturer thing was almost out of it. But you mentioned it, Steve, if you look how far back, Riley Herbst, pause that for just a second. Let's take a look at that. Look at how far back Riley Herbst is right here.
Yeah,
he's going to be the guy that's going to play a huge factor in who's going to win this race. I don't think that he's in a good position right here. If you could back up and be like, where do you want to be with 3 to go in the Daytona 500? That is not where I want to be by any means. And honestly, I don't even think that Reddick down here is in that great of a position. It looks to me like Spire Motorsports has exactly what they need right now.
Yeah, I won't lie. Right here, I'm actually thinking Logano. He's so good at speedway racing. I'm like, all right, the run might come from 4 or 5 back. They keep beating and banging, but this is a good spot. You pointed this out about the run from the 45 to the 43, and right there. I'm going to back that up. Watch how close this is to the 77, basically. See if I can back it up.
What's key about this push is that it doesn't look like it's that aggressive of a hit, but if you watch the 77 when Eric Jones gets into the back of him, he all but wrecks on this lap. And the reason that's going to be so important, we're going to show you in about 50 seconds, is what happens the next time they get around there. And people they're not gentle at the end of the race, right? You're doing everything you can to try to move your lane forward. And the runs that we see towards the end of this are epic, the biggest we saw all day long.
And some of it, all day long, there was this fuel management and all these things, so you didn't get a lot of rehearsal. At the end of the stages was really the only...
practice it. That's right.
Yeah, right. So now they're kind of trying to figure out how good their cars are, how much they can withstand the pushes. We're going to see right here the 45 kind of snakes through the middle. I'm actually super impressed with Hocevar. I thought he does a really nice job of being tame at times, being aggressive at times.
Back that up for just a second. Let's do that. Back it up real quick. I want you to watch what happens down the backstretch because Carson's been very loyal to Michael McDowell through this whole process. McDowell, probably looking at the last 2 years, thinks I probably need to get in front of the 24 right here. That's going to be my car. But watch the run. Hocevar already has a little bit of a run.
Yep.
Jones gives him a huge shot right here. Look at how much faster he's going to go by McDowell. McDowell could have pulled up in front of him, and I think Carson would have pushed, but he chose to go down in front of Byron. That changed the complexion of who had control of this race. All of a sudden, Tyler Reddick in the middle, didn't think he was in a great position coming to the white flag.
Yeah, so now as we're going to see a big run, I think, pushed off the top right here from the 43 to the 77.
Pause it right here at the line. Coming to the white flag, and we referenced, you need to watch the 43, who's going to give 77 a huge shot. It's actually going to end up wrecking both of those cars. But I think the other one to highlight is over here is Riley Herbst. Look how far back he is right there. What position is he in?
Yeah, right. What is that, 15th, 14th, right? We're talking at 4.
Way back. Definitely not in the position you think you'd want to be in. But because of this wreck that's going to generate from the 77 and the 43, they're going to go to the bottom of the track. It's going to slow up all of these cars right here and allow that outside lane to roll forward.
So we roll through the wreck. I mean, I think it's just a push on the right rear bumper. We've seen this multiple times.
It's just the last lap of the Daytona 500. No one's going to be mad about what's happened right there. But look at the momentum that the 9 is going to have. The 24, who's been in a great position all day long, he's heading the wrong direction.
That's right. So this car is going this direction. And I'm going to tell you, that's kind of what peels off. Really watch Bubba Wallace, because Bubba Wallace, I think this could have been an even bigger wreck. He has no choice. He chops the gas because the 24 is coming straight up the hill.
Lost all of his momentum for sure.
And now I'm thinking, man, Chase Elliott. This is Chase Elliott's Daytona 500 to win. He gets a huge push by the 38 down the backstretch.
Yeah, and he was my pick. Look at the flaps on the hood flipping up because he's pushing him so hard, but handling has come into play at this point as Zane Smith pushes Chase Elliott down into the corner. You're going to see when they get right to the middle of the corner where the car loads up the most, the 38's going to shoot up the racetrack. Okay, so that's my question,
because right here, the 45 has got his push. And I'm like, he's not moving forward anymore. His momentum has stopped. I think it's going to be figured out. But you think the 38, the wiggle we see is why he backs up, because the 45 looks like it comes out of a cannon.
Yeah, so a couple of things happened right here. The 45 is going to have a little bit of momentum. The 38 is going to lose his, which magnifies the 45.
Right.
And when you look behind, the 35 is also going to have a little bit of run. The timing for the 45 right here could not have been better. And this isn't Tyler doing the right thing. This is just the timing of all of this. Look, perfect. Watch the momentum from the 35 right here. And then Tyler, I guarantee you, Chase Elliott.
That's what I was going to say. Put me in the 9. Like what's the 9 doing?
And I listened to his interview afterwards, and he's right. In that moment, you think you're just going to cause a wreck. He thought maybe he could side drift Tyler. The run, though, that the 45 had, clearly if Chase could go back, he pulls down, tries to block the 45. A lot of other things can happen there. The other car to watch in all this is the 6. Because Brad, very vocal about Riley Herbst on the last lap.
Well, Brad's going to kind of move out to this position over here. And I know he gets wrecked. I don't know what would have happened, but he had enough momentum. It would have been
close.
It would have been
for
close.
Sure.
It would have been close. So here comes the block that couldn't happen. He makes one attempt. He gives the 45 the lane. I think at this point, Chase's only hope is that the 6 is further up. Like if the 6 is another car length forward, if the 6 is basically here, then he forces Riley Herbst to push the 9.
So here's the
thing. That would have been
Riley
tough.
Herbst I don't think he's looking in his mirror right here. Who cares? I mean, you're racing trying to win. He had a choice. He could either go with his teammate Tyler Reddick or go to the outside. I don't blame him. I would have done exactly the same thing. Right. And I would have expected Tyler to do the same thing if the roles were reversed. I don't even know that Riley is conscious of Brad being there, but I don't blame him for what he did either.
Yes, and what I'm thinking is if the 35 could have been trapped, that was the only hope for the 9.
Right, that would have been the only hope.
Right,
correct.
Because he comes up, the move's too late, and he drives across the 6's nose. Chase takes a huge hit, and it's Tyler Reddick that goes on to win the Great American Race. I mean, there was a lot that went down.
Oh.
I had at least 5 different winners probably in the last lap.
Without a doubt. I mean, that's what makes this race so special and so hard to win. And we talk about the amount of champions in our sport that have won a championship, not been able to win the Daytona 500. It's because there's a million scenarios that have to play out perfect for you to be able to win this race.
Yeah, it really is. I was shocked. It was a lot of great moves. Some good teammates. Bubba Wallace helped him. Riley Herbst helped him. But in the end, it was Tyler Reddick. Actually, we all forget, breaking over a 1-year winless drought. Didn't go to victory lane last year.
To break your winless drought in.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great 2026 with 2311. Has kicked off the greatest way already. Tyler Reddick winning the Great American Race.